If aliens came to Earth and wanted to speak to only one ambassador, who would you want it to be? Opinion 1. Their own ambassador on Earth, Tilda Swinton. Benedict Cumberbatch wiping the sweat from his emulated sweat orifice because the humans aren't onto him yet. Opinion 2. Well, hello there, neighbor. Thank you for traveling so far to come visit with us. I can't wait to get to know you better and discover all the things we have in common and our differences too. My name is Fred. What's yours? Fred is kind of my hero. Basically Jedi mind tricked us sitting as senator. Why did this make me choke up? Yep, I was thinking if it was anyone in the 2000s. Fred Rogers, ambassador for the world. I didn't expect this to be the answer that resonated the most. But it really is. He is one of the best examples of the good side of humanity. This is the only correct answer. I completely agree. He would be perfect. Now I feel bad because the first person that came to mind for me was Terry Crews. Opinion 3. The head of the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, which is currently Nicholas Hedman. It's basically part of his job. He spent time thinking about it, reading theories about it. He or one of his predecessors, as he's only acting head, is the most qualified person for the job. A day full of what-if meetings. This could have been a what-if email. Agenda and meeting minutes provided by that weirdo from Ancient Aliens with crazy hair. Or is it? They made a whole title for it. There is probably a lot we don't know that has already happened. In fact, where is my tin hat? Well, USA put out the official statement that UFOs are real. Which is as according to all nations admitting that the technology observed of truly unidentified craft are beyond even their most secret projects. I figure the office was, publicly, made in the UN once the declaration went out, since it means one step closer to meaningful contact. I think you're misinterpreting the UFOs thing. A UFO doesn't necessarily mean an alien spacecraft, just that the government doesn't know exactly what the object is. There's a lot more about it than aliens. It's mostly about how different nations can treat space. You could read a summary of the Outer Space Treaty to get an idea. His first job is to explain that in English, words have different meanings in different contexts, and that most of the television they viewed on the way to our planet is using the word affairs differently from how it is meant in his job title. So please keep your whatevers to yourselves. This deserves to be higher. I hope more people take the time to read it. Reminds me of Arrival. Opinion 4. Me, obviously. I vote this guy. Thanks, I'm making sure you're not getting death rate first and foremost. You are getting probed first. Another politician making campaign promises he has no intention of keeping. Opinion 5. A golden retriever. You never said it had to be a human, and if any of us can be convinced to agree on one thing, it might be that no human should be that ambassador. Are you sky humans? Ground humans are super great. Ground and sky humans should be bestest friends with me, explore, have fun times. Yay for new buddies. Had a golden I'd never seen in my life come for head scratches at the park today, then proceed to flop his whole body against me and slide down my leg to the ground to demand belly rubs. I wonder if the goldens might be too trusting. Perhaps there's a craftier animal we can trust. Crows seem like the right choice to me. Gordon Setters. Not as smart as goldens, but not as trusting either. But sweet and gentle and kind and not materialistic. They may not trust you on a personal level as quickly as a golden, but they will personally show you to all the meaningless valuables in the house. Dog food is not meaningless, by the way. Well, in that case, I agree with the golden, but he has to have a poodle sidekick. A golden would give away Earth. A poodle would say, hold on a minute, what do we get? A representative who can't sell us out because she doesn't comprehend one negative thing about us. Honestly, this is such a beautiful answer. The aliens would immediately know why we did it and we'd probably hug. I'm tearing up over here. Air Bud, Intergalactic Ambassador. A freaking wholesome doggo. You, my good sir, have won the internet today. Aliens, don't kill the humans. They're pets of a far more intelligent species on this planet. Earthlings seem friendly, but I have no idea how they've managed to erect cities with their level of intelligence. Maybe we would get that response if we did send a human. Opinion 6. Patrick Stewart, in full Starfleet garb. Sir Patrick Stewart. Put some respack on it. Michael Dorn in full Starfleet garb, in character, is the far more logical answer. A fake, murderous alien that has been accepted into human society, but will defend it with reckless abandon, is exactly who we need to defend our honor. Picard brings a lot of shit wherever he goes. I'm a Shakespearean actor. And I am stuck here talking to the ambassador of the fucking worm people. And let's keep Kirk away. Unless it's horny aliens, then by all means bring him out. My first and only thought. Opinion 7. Dolly Parton. Came here to see how long I had to scroll to find her. This was my first instinctive thought. She was my second choice when I remembered that Fred Rogers was no longer an option. Opinion 8. Keanu Reeves. Send Keanu along with a golden retriever. Keanu with a golden retriever would be just about ideal. That might be the only team that could keep the aliens from destroying us. At least we'd be sure they won't kill the dog. I second this motion. I almost just commented someone silly, like John Cena, but on a more serious note, if you want to know what good human representation would look like, Keanu Reeves is a top choice. John Cena might act like a wild one in the ring, but he also has the record for most Make-A-Wish wishes granted, including outright funding some. Opinion 9. An anthropologist. It's easier to relate to a different view of the world if you can break down your own. Have you watched Arrival? Similar concept, only it's a linguistics professor they send up. The linguist is chosen because it can be extremely difficult to successfully communicate a message of peace and try to understand a truly alien visitor's intentions without very carefully establishing shared vocabulary. One wrong word or misconstrued phrase could start a panic or a war. Yeah. I had that opinion first, but I thought of the Arrival soon after that. I think that it really makes sense. I appreciated the movie's thoughtful approach. It depends on the emotional intelligence of the anthropologist and their psychological makeup though. So a zoologist would make more sense. You can also argue like a mathematician because math is universal and there's tons of equations advanced species would understand. You'd have to start with simple things like the Pythagorean theorem to establish variables and probably more complex stuff I have no idea about. True that. Mary Albright sure did good by Dick Solomon and the other purple tubes. I'm pretty sure someone has already named all the spiders. So Daniel Jackson? Opinion 10. My granny. She is the sweetest kind-hearted person there is. She would probably bake them muffins and make some tea. My grandma just passed away last month. I wish she could be the one to greet our visitors. She'd have the Kool-Aid and Nilla wafers ready on her patio. Ah heck yeah. Mine would have rice pudding, sweet tea, and Pringles at the ready. Sorry for your loss. Lost mine a year ago last month, so I feel you. Now I want to know, a new Ask Reddit, what would your grannies bring to greet our new intergalactic friends? My 1 graham cracker would bring butterscotch candies and Diet Pepsis in frozen mugs. My other grandma would bring smoked salmon, cream cheese, and wheat thins. My grandma would bring red wine in a 20-ounce tumbler to keep her liver healthy, and lemon meringue pie so they don't get scurvy. I also choose this guy's granny. I want to meet your granny. Opinion 11. Snoop Dogg. After 20 minutes the aliens will be full of peace, love, and Cool Ranch Doritos. Not to mention the contact high from just being in his presence. Ain't no alien gonna be hostile then. I dunno, I think Martha Stewart would make better snacks for them. Send them both, they are already used to working together. I know she helped him write it, but Snoop's cookbook is pretty awesome. I just got back from Western Europe, where I discovered that their Cool Ranch Doritos are called Cool American Flavor. Opinion 12. Weird Al. My runner-up, since Mr. Rogers is no longer with us. He might secretly be one of them. Seems too smart to not be. Opinion 13. Jon Stewart. Probably the best American option. Excellent at measuring speaking and diplomatic word choice, excels in highlighting middle ground, and great at being respectful without being ceremonious or inauthentic. He also has a well-established knack for discussing serious issues while encouraging the best in humanity. I couldn't agree more. Since we've set celebrity president precedent, can Jon Stewart be next? He wouldn't want it. Let's force him. Opinion 14. Morgan Freeman. He should introduce himself as God. But then who would narrate the inevitable documentary? Opinion 15. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Why did I have to scroll so far down for this? The only better pick would be Carl Sagan, but unfortunately no longer possible. He has an inability to say the words "I'm not educated on that subject so I don't have an opinion" drives me up the fucking wall. The dude has an opinion about everything. Neil is an obvious answer. Physics professors that understands high-level mathematics. The language will be a barrier, but math system is universal to use for communicate. Too arrogant. Very smart, and I really enjoy learning from the man, but I feel he probably wouldn't let the aliens get in a word. I think they would get sick of him trying to humansplain how the universe works. Even though he comes off as very pompous to me, deGrasse Tyson should at least be considered since he would potentially grasp some aspect of their travel mechanism if given info. Yeah, hard to believe that I scrolled past Dolly Parton twice before I found the real answer. Nothing against Dolly Parton, she's an amazing person. But for real. I also came to vote for NDT and was surprised how far I had to go. What's wrong with you, Reddit? Opinion 16. Terry Crews. He's kind, enthusiastic and passionate. I'm biased though, as he's one of my heroes. President Camacho wouldn't play around with no aliens. He is also physically intimidating, which is why they won't want to pick a fight. He is so underrated. Definitely great hero material. Opinion 17. Pedro Pascal. The kindest and most emotionally responsible human on earth. I can bring you in warm or I can bring you in cold. Opinion 18. To be completely honest, I wouldn't trust anyone to be a capable ambassador for the whole of humanity. There are way too many opposing opportunist worldviews. For example, China, Russia, and a whole lot more countries would never accept if the president of the US would speak to aliens on their behalf. And the US would insist on them being the leading party in this kind of situation. If anything, it has to be a neutral third party, not affiliated with any political or religious ideology. I also wouldn't want a famous actor or musician to take on that role, since these people are famous for acting and music, not for their diplomatic skills. What is left are accomplished scientists, people like Alan Guth, Margaret Geller, or Didier Queloz. Roughly half of Americans would reject the American president speaking for humanity. Not a jab at a next, current, or previous USA president. The world would never agree on a neutral third party. There can't be one. Every human is from some country. That human, regardless of their political views, would represent that country. It would probably come down to the leader of whatever country they landed in. It doesn't matter what country said person comes from. I just don't want to see an official member of any government. Opinion 19. Herein lies the problem. Advanced, telepathic species have bred greed and violence out of their species. They have no use for governments, no need to be controlled and exploited. There is no representative of Homo sapiens, and there never will be. Our archaic means of controlling the masses through religion, fear, and extortion are too stupid and simple for them to internalize. So you volunteer? Nope. It should be a lottery like jury duty. Well, folks, that's it. Please leave your opinions in the comments. I would love to make a video about them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, in a world of darkness, your voice can be the light. Speak your truth and never be afraid to share your opinion.